Can't come in here and decide because, okay, I need more money for oil, for light, for whatever, there's gotta be an in from somewhere, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure that they make money on other ventures and on other situations, But they can't do that to El Barrio. El Barrio will always be El Barrio. I don't see it how they're gonna change it to anything else. You know what I mean? And just like Chinatown, you want to change Chinatown? They take all the Chinese to move out, or you're going to take black out. You can't do that. There are always going to be people living in there. It's culturally great. People that come from other countries. You know what I mean? That's the flavor of us being Americans. Where are the Irish? Where are the Jews? Where are you know what I mean? It's part of the whole thing.
But that's the thing though, that this country is ever changing, especially New York City. And the Irish and the Italians were in this community at one time. And they're not here anymore. I mean, there's a few of them.
There's just a few, yeah.
But they're all gone. So this community itself has gone through a transformation. So has the Lower East Side and all the other communities here.
But you see, in the Lower East Side, you have the tenement museum. They turn it into a tenement museum. That's what I'm trying to say. It's true that this building is called the Julia de Burgos, but the fact is, it's just a name. The one that's been doing here programming and doing things has been El Taller Boricua. It hasn't been, the pleneros do their things, they go out do their things. Miriam uses the theater with, you know what I'm saying? But, you're talking about a cultural center that's supposed to have more organizations. There should be at least 20 organizations in here doing more programming for the community.
So Taller Boricua is really the person keeping it going.
Basically,
The Julia in other words, Julia de Burgos, the biggest mistake that we made when we moved in here, was immediately every time we did programming, we used to put Julia de Burgos, Julia de Burgos,
Julia de Burgos. We try to promote it as a cultural center.
Exactly.
Basically, with smoke and mirrors, trying to create what was supposed to have been created, and we kept with the philosophy of it being a cultural center, but in reality, it's just the different organizations that rent space and they do their own thing. The building itself is the Julia de Burgos Cultural Center. The building.
So, who exactly started Taller, and what has Taller's mission and philosophy been, and how has it evolved? I know that's a very three-part question.
Yeah, I could talk to that. We started the Taller as an artist collective, a group of artists. It's an artist-run organization, much different from other organizations that start with a directorship and all that. We started out as a collective, everybody with the same voting power, And we started in the late 60s, early 70s, for the sole purpose of supporting the artists involved with space, with materials, with a support system for the artists, for one. For two, to create an organization that would create awareness of the Puerto Rican heritage and Puerto Rican art here in East Harlem, and promote art and education throughout the 5 boroughs and throughout the tri-state area and more.
I'm concerned about the social conditions, the human social conditions of the people that were living in this area.
And at the same time, there was the whole political scene with the within we had the social political climate of the time with
the young lords. The whole situation in El Barrio of health, housing. So where's mainly social health, housing, all the social conditions of what the people were suffering in El Barrio. And the thing is that it started as a collective of artists, but artists are also very humane in that sense, sensible to that. And two of our mentors, who were Carlos Osorio and Rafael Tufino, came from how would I say, from Puerto Rico, where they were part of an organization by the government called DIVETCO, Department of Education, Community and Education, which is sort of like urban planning, sort of. And that was put in there by Muñoz Marin. So they had already socially and politically ideas on how to deal with the social conditions, because in Puerto Rico, in DIVETCO, if you check it, if you Google it or you try to find information, it was a very big organization that influenced also other countries, like Germany, France, a tiny island influencing all these people, because they hire artists to work, and they used to go into the countryside and find out with social workers and stuff like that, what were the problems in those communities. Like they didn't have any water, like certain conditions. And through that, they will gather information, and the writers will sit down and write stories and all of that, and make booklets to help the people to improve their condition in their community. They made movies, they made posters. And they all work collectively as artists, and they also did their work. So these two mentors that we had when the collective was being formed, we were very much influenced by the idea of also coming in here and through using our work, finding out what is needed within the community and stuff like that. And many times we will use our work to influence those situations. That's during the time why El Museo del Barrio came about. Why? So actually El Taller has a history from where it came from, a collective of artists, young artists, and the older generation coming in
It was a
to influence.
A cross-cultural,
Yeah.
cross-generational
Exactly.
collaboration, because the young artists from here, we were all like either New Yorkers, Puerto Ricans that grew up here or born here and have been already assimilated into this culture, had been assimilated. And when we started to then deal with this new resurgence of creating an identity, working with the identity issue and all that, these two people, Rafael Tufino and Carlos Osorio, were island born or island raised. So they had all that information that we needed. So it was like a perfect collaboration. We were the young guys that were ready to tear down walls, and they were the guys who knew, who had the knowledge. They had, so it was very interesting, and that created a good dynamic for doing the things we were doing. We were doing the same things more or less they had done before, so it was like, so it became, like, we didn't reinvent the wheel, they gave us stories that they already knew, they gave us a lot of technical information too, in terms of developing the arts, developing printing, developing the painting styles, and dealing with the issues and
exhibiting, because like we didn't have